Montreal, you're listening to the Morning Detour on CKUT 90.3 FM, and we're keeping it fresh and fabuloso this morning. We've got the big low, Lorena, in the building. Hey. Our next guest is a true creative force in the beauty industry, and let me repeat that, a true creative force in the beauty industry, especially here in Quebec, okay? Tracy Vee is a makeup artist with nearly a decade of experience working in film and TV, where she's mastered the art of bringing visions to life on screen. And we know how difficult it is for us women who look like us, okay, to get makeup artists, if you're an actor or not, to get our complexions right. But she on to something, okay? She also owns her own makeup studio in Laval and combines her artistic flair with her business management degree, okay, shout out to you, to push the boundaries of beauty and content creation. So Montreal, let's give it up for the talented Tracy Vee, who I'm going to call Big V for the rest of the show. Big TV, okay?
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. You know, I've seen you a lot around, you know what I mean?
Really?
But this is the first time we've actually got to have a conversation, and I'm so happy that I get to pry into your business today.
I know, I follow you online.
Do you?
So I always watch your videos. So this is exciting.
Look at the dimples coming out now.
This is a new thing. I was like, you know what, let me try something new. And I was like, okay, content.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, I should try something new. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And it just worked out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right,
Yeah, no, shout out to you, man, because you've been doing your thing. And before we get into it, like, from what I've heard of you, you're one of the only black makeup artists in Quebec TV and film right now. I think you're even a part of a union or something like that. One of the only. Can you talk about that whole experience and process, man? Because right there, when it comes to representation, when it comes to breaking barriers, you are that.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, it's been 10 years from now.
Yeah.
And I remember starting 10 years before I wanted to be an actress.
Okay.
So I wanted to be an actress, and I was like, okay, I didn't like it that much. And I started doing makeup, and then I was like, you know what? I've been doing a lot of weddings. And I was like, you know what? I want to try something new. Because me, I love to try everything new. And I was like, okay, maybe I could, maybe work in film.
Yeah.
So I started digging in my contacts, and I had a friend, and we were just talking, and he was like, you know what, maybe I can help you out. And he gave my number to a girl, and I've been talking to other people, and I was like, okay, let me just try to get it in. And I just received a phone call, and this girl was just like, listen, can you work tomorrow morning at like 5 a.m.? I was like, oh my god, like I don't have anything. Like, okay, let me just jump in. And the TV show was called 21 Thunder. Yeah. For CBC. And I was like, okay, cool. So, I got in, and they liked me. So they're like, okay, well, we're gonna, keep you for the rest of the show. And I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
So, this is how I started. And then, I made contacts and, been in the industry, and
One thing she's saying, like, let me toot. She's not tooting her horn enough, y'all. So let me toot her horn for her, okay? Working in film, TV, running your own makeup studio. How has, your journey as a makeup artist evolved like this? And what keeps you inspired to keep pushing the boundaries?
Me, I'm a type of girl where every time I try something new, I go all the way out. So if I'm doing it, I'm going to do it all the way out. And I don't know, I just felt like, okay, this is what I wanted to do. And I was just so focused into talking to new people, talking to head makeup artists. And and then after that, like, I was like, okay, well, what can I do next? And I was like, okay, well, let me just open my little lounge where I can receive, clients and all my brides and stuff. So I did that, and I just got into the American TV and film, so that was really cool too. Honestly,
international.
Like, that was really fun, and I was just surprised how there was a lot of American production that comes here because it's cheaper. So I was just, like I was on what's it called, the movie, oh my god, I forgot the name, but whatever.
Because there's so many, you know what I'm saying? There's so many.
Yeah, like my resume is pretty big, but honestly, I just, just remain humble, just do my thing, and it's been pretty good.
Oh, that's awesome, though.
That is amazing. I wish when I was younger I had someone like you with me, because I used to do ballet. And they used to have me looking like a ghost.
Listen, I get that all the time. Every time I'm on set, they're like, "Thank you, like I'm not great. Like, thank you so much."
Yeah.
Because you gotta learn the undertone.
Yeah.
If you don't know the undertone, it gets pretty difficult.
And also with the film camera and stuff, like, oftentimes when you see and you're looking at you could tell if they had a good makeup artist or not, because they have black people looking purple or super dark and gray, like you said,
And this is actually where I met Pinon, like it was
Okay.
on set.
Okay.
Yeah, I was working for this. It was like a small series called oh my god, something Love. It's been like two years ago that I met her, and she was the lead actress. And I had to do her makeup, and since then we became friends.
Awesome! That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to get into film too, so you can be my friend too. You know what I mean?
Definitely. So speaking of that, from when I was younger to now, there has been a shift, like a change in the beauty industry. So what have you noticed when it comes to diversity and representation, especially for us Black women, and how has that impacted your work?
I mean, it got better, because when I first started, there weren't a lot of Black actors, and over time, I'm like, oh my god, and especially like I did a lot of those movies like Shane Blanc, like it's all about slavery and a lot of these movies, and I'm like, oh my god, there's more and more. So and a lot of people, especially those sets, like they always contact me for these type of movies or TV series. So like, and even like I knew too, like it's great.
You were on La Kainu, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And like a lot of other stuff I've been seeing, you show up everywhere. Like if there's something, and it's something that you don't really see, because there's a lot of people who MUA in their bio, but you taking it to a whole other level. You know what I mean? Look at that. Like, when the dimples come out,
you're doing it.
You definitely are. And like you mentioned, with navigating those spaces, right? As a Black makeup artist in those spaces and changing the game, have you faced obstacles, and how do you navigate those obstacles?
I mean, the TV world it's a small world. So it's really difficult to break that circle and to be like, okay, I want to be head makeup artist. So for sure, it's not easy at all.
Yeah.
Like even
nepotism
for me,
and all that.
Yeah, like even for me, like I was the only Black girls in every set as makeup artist, and I always worked with actually Joe Pat, which is like one of the best hands down makeup artists.
Okay.
Like she did so many movies. Like oh my god, if you type her name, and she brought me onto so many production as well, and we were the only two. Like, it's crazy, and now I'm part of the union. It's been 5 years or so.
I heard that because I think there was doing, I think it was 2 years ago, I got asked to exhibit like my art at this Black in Film event, and they had some union people come down, and they mentioned your name. Like they're like, we need more Black people in the film and TV industry from makeup artists, and they mentioned your name, and so that's when right away I'm knowing like, okay, she's in the union.
I'm in the union. Yeah, and it's so tough because to be part of the union, you need minimum 150 days working on sets, which is difficult because you will work on a production, but now it's like, okay, what am I going to do next? Because you need to know the other people that works on the other production, and vice versa. So
it's always like who you know.
It's all about who you know. So it's like if you only know these type of people that works on these type of set, you're screwed. Because
you ain't gonna get your days.
Work, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like get to know other people and get in that circle and actually get to work, because it's at first I was like, oh my god, and I remember at one point I wanted to quit because in the beginning, like you see all your friends like they all have money and stuff, and me, I'm just like buying makeup.
Like, but now that's a different story, sweetheart.
And I remember Joe Pat, she's been in the industry for like almost 30 years and even more. And she was like, you know what, Tracy? Everything would come along. Just continue what you're doing. Never look back. And I was like, okay.
And that's what you've been doing.
That's what I've been doing.
And that's Tracy Vee, yo. Yo.
I love it. I want to talk about your studio. Like, what inspired you to open up your own studio? And then how do you also balance having the studio, which you have to think about like the business side, but then also still being a creative, because you are a makeup artist and that's the creative side of things. So how do you balance that too?
Well, I studied with, I studied in business management.
Oh, okay.
And, there's a lot of businesses, they will open fast and they will close down. So you got to be really smart into like building your clientele first. And I was doing it for like 4 years, going to people's houses and all the time. And so I built a clientele. So I knew the day that I would open, I would be functioning the next day because I had a clientele. So that's what I did, and I was really I was like, okay, well, I think I can do it. So I remember it was COVID, and everybody was looking for something new to do, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna open a studio. And even my mom was like, "It's COVID. Like, are you crazy?" And I was like, "Well, yeah,
she
I
did
think
that.
it's the right time,
Yeah.
So I opened it, and I just had clients the next day because I built my clientele, and I still have it. It's been like 4 years since COVID now.
Yeah.
So it's been 4 years. So I've been working there since, and I also rented to other people that do facials and whatnot.
Okay.
So even though if I'm not there full time and I'm working on sets and whatnot, it's still there running.
It's like a beauty bar.
It is, and I feel like there was no like makeup lounge only. There would be like hair and skincare, but this one is just makeup.
Something we were missing here.
Exactly.
I think so. I think so.
Big time. But it's not just that. So you're not just doing TV and film, not just doing makeup. Now you're a big content creator.
Yes,
she's going there, she's eating here, she's out there, she's showing you what to do in Montreal. You know what I mean?
Because now I'm part of an agency.
Okay.
So they were just like, you have to do it in French. There's not a lot of like content creators, black content creators in French, and they will work because there's a lot of money. And there's a lot of the government's giving a lot of money, especially for black people and especially content. So I was like, okay, I'll try. And I got a few contracts here and there, and I was like, oh, okay, it's good. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see.
But how's it helped you so far, like in terms of expanding your reach in the beauty industry and everything like that?
I don't know, because in terms of content, I just wanted to separate it. And just do makeup and just content as, restaurants and, so I don't know, maybe I'll merge the two. We'll see. But I just really wanted to try something new and and just
it's working.
See from there.
It's working. I think I see you at the brunch too. You know, the restaurant. She's doing her thing. But you said you work with an agency, right, to do the content. So what is that like?
So, it's KebWeb. And they just approached me, and I was like, okay, well, why not? Maybe I can try. If it works, it works. If not, then whatever, I try it. And it's been working good. They were giving me a few contracts here and there, and it's working. So I'm like, all right.
Awesome. You know what I'm saying? People out there, all you guys out there scrolling for free. You know what I mean? And then you have people posting for money. You know what I mean? Listen.
It's true. I think always use social media for your benefit. Don't just scroll mindlessly on it. There's so much that could come from it. But I want to know, since you are the expert and there's so many people that want to break into the makeup industry, especially in entertainment too, like what advice would you give to them?
Honestly, because I remember asking some other black makeup artists, I'm like, why don't you try? And they'll just say, oh, they'll never pick me. I'm like, why? They're like, oh, I'm black, whatever. I'm like, no, because this is how I started, right? I just had this audacity, I was just wanted to do it. And basically, I would just say, just go for it, 100%. If you really think this is what you want to do, send emails. Be there, like you have to be seen. Go, go talk to people that works on set and this and that, and you will get there. Because for some reason, I would never thought I would be, working on like X-Men or, like all these movies,
all
like
these big time movies.
I saw those big big American like production. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And especially when they come down here, I know a lot of them, when they're like black directors in the States, when they come down here, they're looking for black crews too.
Yep.
And there's not even a lot in the union. So it's hard with
Yes.
that.
Listen, I was working on a TV series called The Bow Tie, and the hairdresser was from New York. And I was like, come on, man. Like, you guys cannot take the effort to put, you know, a black, like, there's so many black hairdressers here, you know?
There is.
But now it's getting better.
Yeah.
Because now, like, I do see, you know, I've been seeing a lot of black hairdressers because they were looking for, because there were actresses that will come here and be like, no, I want a black girl that does my hair.
Yeah.
And they were firm on it and they had no choice.
Exactly.
So this is why I always say to actors, like, tell them, like, you know, be like, listen, this is what I want, and then you guys figure it out.
Yeah.
And they will take the effort.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's Black History Month, and we want to celebrate awesome black women and men and persons. But what does this month mean to you, especially in terms of your work and your platform, and how do you continue to uplift black voices and faces and, you know, represent that black excellence in what you do?
You know, it's funny because I was watching the movie The Porter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's not the movie, I'm sorry, this TV series.
On CBC.
On CBC. And I was like, oh my God, like, we need more, like, way more of this. And yes, you know, there's the French ones, but even the Anglophone ones, like, we don't, especially me, I don't hear enough.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot from Spence. I don't know if you know Spence, Telemark. And especially from, you know, the TV series I watched on it. I saw the other movie, Jackie.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my
Henri
God.
Pardot,
Yes, from Henri Pardot. And I was like, oh my God, we do need more. So, you know, black excellence for me is, you know, it's empowerment. It's to put that effort, you know, to put that effort and to bring more of these type of.
Yeah, well, you know, before we let you go, okay, you know, we just need to know what's next for the big TV, big Tracy Vee. What's next? And if you have any upcoming projects or new collaborations in the mix?
Well, we're doing Like I Knew season 3.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But other than that, I don't know, because you know how it is. I just get a call, be like, okay. You know,
It happens like that, yeah.
Well, is there
Like,
something that you want to do that you haven't done yet?
Traveling, working on set.
Okay.
Yes, because I remember they called me to actually do makeup for a lead actress in Vancouver, but I was working on another project. I was like, I wanted to go, you know. So I think, you know, it would be nice to move around and, you know, work on sets and see how the other sets they work and the other unions. So
yeah.
Awesome.
Well, it's been lovely having you.
Thank you so much.
You know,
Thank you so much.
still following you, but gonna continue following you. But for those of our listeners who want to tap into your work, to connect with you, maybe to do their bridal makeup or something like that, how can they reach you?
You can reach me on Instagram, Miss Tracy Vee, and TikTok, Tracy Vee.
Yeah.
And especially if you want to get dolled up for if you're next bride, I think I did over 200 brides.
Listen here.
Wow.
200 brides, 200 weddings.
Yeah, even more.
Yeah.
So we've been doing a lot of
It's
weddings.
in the bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a team. We got you. And
Shout out. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. It's been awesome. Now I get to talk to you in person. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you never know. And and I also know you're an Aquarius too. I see them online. Yeah, because Kevin.
Aquariuses are here.
Yo, we rock. And with Aquarius, it's like people don't know always how to approach us, because usually they say that we just look like we're stush, but most time we're in our heads and we're like awesome, like the most nice people. Well, we can be most of the time, but that's why it's so hard. You know, you don't know how to navigate those spaces, especially with black women.
I've only seen the good side of Aquarius.
Yeah, thank you. But no, it's been awesome to like hear you and your creative and just see you in person and to hear your story. It's been awesome. So like, thank you so much for joining us on the Morning Detour. Montreal, if you're looking for a makeup artist who can do it all, okay, make sure to check out Tracy Vee and follow her on her socials. And don't go anywhere. As per usual, we've got more amazing conversations coming up. So stay tuned to CKUT 90.3 FM.
The Morning Detour on CKUT 90.3 FM.